Hello, Lila. Hello. Hello, Red. That's our favorite. Hello, Orange. Hello, Blue.
Addie's reading her own story tonight.
Hello, Green. Hello, Purple.
Good job. The end. Good job. All right, my battery's at 5%, so I don't actually know.
My baby is sleeping.
Okay, but I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to post it once I get it recorded. But Addie wants to watch Doggone It, Stitch. She wants to read Doggone It, Stitch, not watch Doggone It, Stitch.
That last one.
Stitch, and this is from the Disney's Bedtime Favorites book.
And we have Mickey Mouse on there too.
Stitch, an alien who lived on Earth, was sitting in the living room waiting for his friend Lilo to come home from school. Just then, Lilo burst into the house carrying a puppy. "Hi, Stitch," Lilo said excitedly. My neighbor, Leilani, asked me to take care of her puppy, Rover, while she visits her grandmother. Stitch wants to listen to music, Stitch said. Not now, Lilo answered.
Yeah, my baby
I have to take care of Rover.
Yeah, my baby want to watch a book.
All right, hold on.
I want my baby to sit with you.
Stitch. Oh, you want your baby to sit with me? Okay, your baby can sit. That's fine. You put baby here. Okay. Lilo and not now, Lilo answered. I have to take care of Rover. Stitch watched Lilo make a bed for Rover. He watched her scratch his ears and his tummy. Stitch was bored. He wanted Lilo to play with him. Can we listen to music now? Stitch asked.
What is that?
I want to teach Rover some new tricks, Lilo said.
Mom.
She showed the puppy how to roll over.
Mommy.
Then she threw him a ball and gave him treats.
What's her name?
Her name is Lilo.
Yeah. And what's his puppy name?
That's the puppy named Rover.
And what's his name?
And his name is Stitch.
What's his name?
And that's the same people. Lilo and Rover. All right, let's go to next page. All right.
What about my baby?
Lilo taught Rover tricks all afternoon while Stitch watched quietly. The dog learned to sit, to beg, and to stay. Way to go, Rover, Lilo said encouragingly. You're a good doggy, she patted him on the head. Music now? Stitch asked again. Later, Lilo replied.
Mommy,
Rover's hungry. Yeah, she's wearing a dress there.
And right there, too?
Yeah.
That's an orange thing. She's going to be a princess.
Stitch wasn't... Don't rip it worse. It's ripped a little bit. This old book from when Aiden and Alyssa were little.
Mm-hmm.
Stitch still wasn't home when...
Oh, what's her name?
Did we skip a page? Let me see. I don't know if there's a page ripped out. There might be a page ripped out. Stitch wasn't home when Lilo returned. Lilo asked Nani and her friend David if they had seen him. Before they could answer, Cobra Bubbles called. He was a social worker that Lilo and Nani knew. You need to hide Stitch, Cobra told Lilo. 2 scientists from the Center for the Study of Aliens are looking for him. They want to take him to their laboratory. But I don't know where Stitch is, Lilo exclaimed. He's gone. Well, I suggest you find him before the scientists do.
What's her name?
Cobra replied. Her name is Lilo. We talked about this. Or no, I'm sorry, that's not Lilo. That's Nani. That's her big sister. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Lilo and Nani hurried to town to look for Stitch. David drove to the beach to search. Stitch has been acting weird all day, Lilo told Nani. His badness level was way up. He hid my shoes and chewed the rug. He acted just like Rover. Uh-oh. Suddenly, Lilo knew where Stitch had gone. Stitch probably thought I liked Rover better because he was a puppy. I bet Stitch went to the animal shelter to watch the puppies. She grabbed Nani's hand and pulled her toward the shelter. When Lilo and Nani arrived, Stitch was there. Stitch was learning how to be cute like a puppy, he explained when he saw them. so Lilo liked him again. Stitch, I like you just the way you are, Lilo answered. Now let's go home. But when they started to leave, they saw two scientists coming toward them. He wanted to be a puppy, yeah. But when they started to leave, they saw two scientists coming toward them. Nani, Lilo cried, we've got to do something. All right, let's see what's next. Nani spotted.
What's her name?
I don't know. We have to read it and then we'll find out. Nani spotted two dust mops in the shelter closet. She tried the mops on Stitch so that he looked like a long-haired puppy. Lilo put a leash on Stitch and they walked slowly out of the shelter and past the scientists. The scientists watched Stitch suspiciously.
Yeah, Mommy, is that Stitch?
That's Stitch, I think. Yep.
Is?
He's got mops on his head. Just then, Cobra, Bubbles, and David drove up. Hey, scientist, David called. We just saw an alien heading out to sea. You'd better hurry if you want to catch it. Hop in and we'll take you there. The scientist jumped into the car, and Cobra, Bubbles, and David sped off. Stitch was safe.
Mm-hmm.
Lilo, Nani, and Stitch went home, where Rover was waiting patiently. Stitch went over to the dog and pointed to his paw. Stitch, show how you shake your paw, the alien said. Lilo smiled. She was happy. Stitch wanted to make friends with Rover. But now it was time. Now it was time for the puppy to go home. A few minutes later, David and Cobra came in. The scientists are heading out to sea to look for Stitch, Cobra said. He is safe for now. And look what I found at the beach, David said. He lifted a kitten out of the bag and set her on the floor. I thought she needed a good home, he said. The kitten began to explore the room, and after a few minutes, David left to go to work. How cute, Lilo said. Stitch watched everyone play with the kitten. Then the kitten spotted the alien and ran to him. Stitch scooped her up and gave her a big hug. The kitten was soft and cuddly, and she began to purr. And we're going to read the rest of the story tomorrow, okay?
Oh, is that the end?
It's not the end, but it's a long story, and we're already 8 minutes in. So we're going to read the rest tomorrow. How's that sound? We're going to do 2 parts.
Oh, is that the end?
Yeah, this is the next part that we'll read tomorrow. All right? I love you.
Is it this?
There's not many pages left. We got this one. See this? Oh, there's really not that many pages left. I guess we'll just finish it. All right, let me see. Stitch found some string and began to play with the kitten. She darted this way and that, trying to grab the string as Stitch moved it around. Then the alien took the kitten outside. Stitch teach you tricks now, he said. He taught the kitten to come when called and to stay in one spot. Lilo watched from the window. Stitch is really good at having a pet, she said. Nani glanced outside. Yes, he seems happy, she remarked. After a while, it was time to eat dinner. Lilo called. It was time to eat. Dinner, Lilo called. Instead of racing to the table, as he usually did, Stitch got some food and fed the kitten first. Then he sat down and ate with Lilo and Nani. After dinner, Stitch began to play with the kitten some more, but the kitten had had a long day. She climbed into Stitch's lap and fell asleep. Lilo and Nani went into the kitchen and began frosting a cake that Nani had made earlier. A few minutes later, Stitch made a bed for the kitten. Then he went into the kitchen. That's Donald Duck. That's a different story.
I thought reading that in Donald Duck.
Can Stitch keep kitten, he asked. I think the kitten has already adopted you, Nani said. You're her family now. She pointed to the cake. The frosting reads, Ohana Stitch, Lilo said. And you know what that means. Stitch nodded. Ohana means family. And that means nobody gets left behind.
Nani.
Nani smiled. Now let's eat some cake and go to bed. Tomorrow we have to show the kitten her new neighborhood. The end.
We're not done.
All right, I love you.
Baby, already read down the deck.
I love you.
Our first one.
I love you.
First one, you already read
You're not
down.
going to tell me you love me before bed?
I like you.
Good night. Don't kick it. Good night.
Good night.
All right.